I'm not very proud of this. I should have known better, but I was wrong about how to use encapsulated citric acid. And in today's video, we're going to talk about it. Thanks a lot for joining us, folks. My name is Eric with Two Guys in a Cooler. And in today's episode, it's going to be a little different than some of our other videos. We get to talk about how I was wrong about the product known as encapsulated citric acid, or at least how we're supposed to be using it. If you're not familiar with what encapsulated citric acid is, this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a free-flowing sugar. And I think I got this from the sausage maker, but you can get it from Amazon, different places online that sell it. And it's an ingredient used in sausage recipes where you want to end up with a sausage that has a slight tangy or sour flavor, a lot like pepperoni, snack sticks, or even summer sausage. Typically, sausages like that are fermented, and through the process of fermentation, the pH of the meat naturally drops. That's what's going to give the sausage that sour quality. But with encapsulated citric acid, you can avoid fermentation altogether. You add this to your recipe, and by the time you're done cooking, your sausage will have a very similar tangy quality to it. Now, how this product is made is actually pretty simple. It's citric acid. We all know what that is. And each granular of citric acid is coated with a specific type of oil that hardens. And so what we have here is sort of a time-release citric acid. If you add regular citric acid to your sausage, you're going to destroy the texture of your sausage, and it's going to be crumbly, it's going to be a little bit mushy. But when you add encapsulated citric acid, that citric acid is kind of protected through that encapsulation, and it doesn't get released until the very end of the cook when the temperature reaches 150 Fahrenheit. Okay, so hopefully now you know what encapsulated citric acid is. Let me now tell you where I was wrong in how to use it. And I think that this is so important. And I just want to say that if any of you run across any of my old videos where I talk about using encapsulated citric acid improperly, please let me know so that I can try to fix that and adjust the recipe accordingly. Okay, so let's get down to the heart of the matter. Is encapsulated citric acid a cure accelerator? What is a cure accelerator? So a cure accelerator is any product that you add to your sausage or your whole muscles, it really doesn't matter, that accelerates the rate at which your cure, your sodium nitrite, gets converted into nitric oxide. All right, so that at the heart of what a cure accelerator is, that's what it is. There's lots of different things that accelerate the cure. You've got vitamin C, ascorbic acid. You got cherry powder, which is also vitamin C. You've got sodium erythorbate, which is what we use a lot. Heck, even liquid smoke or vinegar are cure accelerators. And the common thread that all of those additives have is their acidity. Basically, acids accelerate the cure. And so now we get to encapsulated citric acid. Is encapsulated citric acid a cure accelerator? I mean, it is, after all, citric acid, which is incredibly acidic. And this is where I gave you guys the wrong information, something I am not proud of, and I'm glad I do have the platform to correct that misinformation so that you guys now know how to use this product properly. So to answer your question, in the big scope of things, yes, encapsulated citric acid is a cure accelerator because it has citric acid in it. But here's the dilemma. It's encapsulated. And so the encapsulation doesn't set the citric acid free until the very end of the cook, once the temperature of the meat gets to 150 degrees or hotter. But what happens to the citric acid before the 150 degrees Fahrenheit? I mean, it's technically encapsulated and the citric acid hasn't been released yet. I know when I cook sausage, especially smoked sausage, I do a long, low, and slow. It may be in unsafe temperatures for 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, depending on what I'm doing. I may cold smoke my summer sausage for 9 hours before I cook it, and that cooking process may take another 6 or 7 hours. That's all danger zone kind of activity. Now, when you use a product like encapsulated citric acid, it's recommended to cook your sausage the same day that you stuff it because you don't want to risk the encapsulation breaking in your refrigerator. Now, why that's important to this particular video is because under normal circumstances, if a sausage has cure in it, we're generally going to let it rest in the refrigerator overnight. That's going to naturally allow the cure to get converted into nitric oxide, which is what we want. almost always, if we're going to be cooking that same sausage the same day we're going to be making it, we're going to add some sort of a cure accelerator. And the idea that encapsulated citric acid acts as a cure accelerator led me to believe that you really don't need to add another cure accelerator to your product because you're kind of already getting it with this. And here's where I was wrong. And for those of you who are using encapsulated citric acid in some of your recipes, take note so that from this point forward, you're always using it the right way. The cure accelerator feature for encapsulated citric acid is technically not activated until the internal temperature of your sausage is almost done. Some say 135, some say 150, it's irrelevant. Your sausage almost has to be completely cooked in order for the encapsulation to break, at which point your citric acid gets released. And so what that means is that if you're using encapsulated citric acid in a sausage recipe that has a curing salt, sodium nitrite, like all of my smoked sausages do, and you do a cold smoke, or you do a long, low, and slow that takes 6, 7, 8 hours to finally get to that internal temp that you're looking for, your sausage is in the danger zone for many hours and it's not being protected because the curing salt hasn't had an opportunity to do its job, right? It needs to be converted into nitric oxide. That conversion needs to happen in order for it to start protecting your meat against all those unwanted bacteria. The correct way to use encapsulated citric acid is to actually add a cure accelerator at the beginning to your recipe. This is going to guarantee that whatever cure you add gets converted, it protects your meat so that you could do that long, low, and slow. You could cook it the same day. You can have that nice, beautiful long cook, whatever you want. At that point, your meat is protected. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think we have 5 recipes in our library where the sausage had both a curing salt and encapsulated citric acid, and I failed to add a cure accelerator to all of those recipes, and that is not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is that if you're going to be making a sausage that has both of those ingredients, a curing salt and encapsulated citric acid, and you're going to be cooking it the same day, is to add a cure accelerator to your recipe. That way you're going to be 100% protected. You won't have anything to worry about. The cure accelerator that we typically use, although shamefully we didn't add it to any of those recipes, is called sodium erythorbate or sodium erythorbate, not really sure how it's pronounced. Now, just so you know, I have since gone back to the website, updated all of those recipes to include a cure accelerator in the ingredients list. At the beginning of this video, we talked about different options for cure accelerators, cherry powder, ascorbic acid, things like that. And we're just finishing up a full-blown video on cure accelerators that kind of covers everything you need to know, potential problems with certain cure accelerators, all of that great stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, click that subscribe button and that notification bell. And there you have it, folks, a little correction video on how to use encapsulated citric acid properly. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video or got something out of it in any way, don't forget to share it with your sausage making friends, your forums, your groups, whatever you belong to, and give this video a thumbs up because that lets the YouTube algorithm know to get this video in the hands of the people that need to see it the most. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.